I want to bring a Federalist elections campaign correspondent, Brianna Lyman, along with Fox News anchor Julie Banderas. Julie, I almost gave you extra. I'm so excited about seeing you and the segment, but I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it feels like the world is bland right now. Our country is bland. Something's missing, an umph is missing.
I could never tell by your outfit today that you want more color in everyone's life. Have you ever seen a suit this color on a grown man? I'm just curious. No offense, but my son dressed as the Joker for Halloween. And it looked exactly like that, except a green tie. So match it with green next time. Yeah, I'd love to see more color on you, Charles. Let me get back to topic. I, first of all, think today's current color climate, which is in that graph that you just showed us, is very much like the color palette on my walls in my house, which I absolutely love. But I do agree that a little color, even purple with stripes, is appropriate from time to time.
Does it feel like a little drabness in this nation in general? Like something feels like, maybe it's a sign of the times, but it feels like maybe, Brianna, there's a lack of umph, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think that the color scheme prior
to
the 2000s...
look like the Joker? No.
I think you look cool. You look cool. The color scheme, I think, reflected the optimism that the country was facing. People felt optimistic about their future, so that was reflected in color, in music, in architecture. And I think what we've seen over the past 26 years is you have seen a shift in consumerism, right? So you have these big corporations, they have to appeal to a global market. When you have color and you have character, you risk alienating some of your consumers. So going to a minimalist version of colors, architecture, designs, all that stuff, I think it opens the market for them, and I think that's what they're focused on, and that leads to us having a very bland life.
Speaking of that, there's one thing I've been zeroing in on, and it's the loneliness crisis in this country, particularly with Gen Z. I've got a table we're going to put up. It's from a couple years ago. It might have gotten worse, though, and it just asks different generations felt lonely or isolated often. 61% of Gen Z versus only 36% of baby boomers, which is interesting because they should be the loneliest. But Julie, anything to this?
Yeah, I do. Young people need to date more. You notice how they don't have boyfriends or girlfriends, so that's why they're lonely. I think personally they should probably drink more because if you look at that graph, I mean,
knock a few back, loosen it up a little bit.
My age generation, it ain't feeling lonely, so something's doing the trick. And as far as part-time jobs, get out there and work.
Right.
I just think that the younger generation is entitled, lazy, and a little overly sensitive. So therefore, there goes the sensitivity factor.
So I'll put you down as a maybe on that.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, you're going to defend the younger generation?
Yes, go for it.
As a Gen Zer, I will say what's difference between my generation and the other generations in that chart is social media. They did not have the same social media. Young people, unfortunately, their brains are being trained to grab their phone as soon as they can. So they're distracted.
They're not socializing.
They're not socializing.
Face to face.
When people go to bars, they're sitting there on their phones like this. No one knows how to interact. So that's what's causing, I think, that generational
100%.
divide.
Yeah.
So you brought up getting a job. A great table out on where youth's checking accounts, where they spend their money. And I think this may be a part of it. So it's interesting. Kids with Gen X parents, number one is Amazon, followed by Zelle and Cash App, then Target, which I think more conservative, older parents saying, hey, you know what, don't go out and blow the money. But, same thing, though, with the younger generation, but Cash App is at the top. And I feel like almost all the young people in my family, that, all my nephews, nieces, all of them, they introduced Cash App to me, and they just call me up. They don't visit me anymore. They just say, Cash App me, Uncle Charles, and I'll see you in a month.
That's really great. Isn't that so rewarding?
I love it.
To be used as an ATM. I love that. I personally am the Amazon crowd. Cash App, too sophisticated for me. I also enjoy Venmo. But as far as purchasing, Amazon, I do not step foot in a store. During the holidays, I do not go shopping in one brick and mortar. No.
So, Brianna, when I look at this and I hear millennials, young kids talking, young Gen Zers talking about not being able to afford anything, I say maybe ditch the McDonald's account, skip on PlayStation. You don't need DoorDash. Apple Pay can go on. Listen, I know things are sort of unfair, particularly in housing, but some of this is brought on yourself. If you keep spending money like this, then what the heck do you expect?
Right, and what do all of these different things have in common? Instant gratification, DoorDash, instant food, right? Amazon, instant. Sometimes you get it within the same day. So I think that's a consumer problem where my generation just wants the next best thing in front of them, and that's why they're constantly buying things because nothing has value anymore.
All right, so with these segments, I always try to find some commonality. Something that we all can agree on. So apparently a lawsuit has been filed
Oh,
to
God.
find out what's in the McRib.
I know.
I mean, now here's the question. Do we really want to know?
No, this is a decades-old mystery. I've never actually had a McRib, but I do remember
way.
going to McDonald's as a kid. I don't do that anymore. I've woken up to the fact that it's disgusting. But I will say this, I wouldn't want to know what the recipe is in there. You also don't want to know what's in their chicken McNuggets. I'm just saying.
Everything but chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as I leave the Big Mac alone, I think I'm okay. I just don't want to know what's in that. I do treat myself once every few years.
From a stock perspective, though, every time they bring out the McRib, buy the stock. I don't know what it is.
Well, and you know, they discontinued it years ago, remember?
Right.
And there was this huge uproar that they got rid of the
Right.
McRib. So
Right.
now it's back. Some people don't even know it exists. Well,
Let's
you
squeeze
do
one
now.
in. We talk about loneliness and also freedom of speech and things like that. There's a crisis in the UK. I mean, they're arresting people for these online posts at a greater rate than Belarus, China, Russia. And, you know, there were people here, you know, if our election turned out differently, we'd probably be in the same position.
I'm proud that we're not high up on that list because
Right.
we're so screwed up right now, this country. I mean, honestly, in the way that people are behaving, that I'm glad. But sexploitation on the internet and through social media has become such a rampant problem. So I'm glad that other countries are cracking down.
Right, but this is a lot of it's just like people having opinions on things that are opinions that, you know, they're not hurting anyone per se.
Yeah.
And they're, you know, I mean, it's our First Amendment, but I just don't know what's going on in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, one example in 2023, there was a Catholic priest and he was in trouble because he had a sticker that said unborn lives matter. He also prayed silently outside of an abortion clinic. So we're talking about people who aren't even doing anything that's controversial or hurting someone else. So it's worrisome because these are supposed to be our brothers, right? And yet they are taking far off the deep end on the First Amendment because they don't have the First Amendment like we do.
Yeah. Brianna, Julie, love this segment. We got to make it even longer next time. I'm going to start next time like, where did they get a load of me?
Wear red, a red suit next time, please.
Okay, got it.